Hello. Hello and good evening. Welcome to the 6 p.m. game between the Mad Rollin Dolls, Dairyland Dolls, and the Minnesota RollerGirls MN All-Stars. I'm October Revolution.
And I'm Assassinate, and we are excited to watch this game. Who out there is excited for this?
Oh, it's going to get really, really loud in here, isn't it?
We can already tell. It's gonna get deafening in here. This is good.
I forgot my earplugs. This might be a hearing problem for me. So let's introduce some teams. You want to read the Mad Rollin Dolls?
Yep. For the Mad Rollin Dolls, the Dairyland Dolls, we have number 03, One Hit Wanda. 141, Hammer Abby. At number 155, Lip Smacker. Number 1967, Jocelyn Hell. Number 222, Hoppy Go Lucky. Number 255, Tipsy Velvet. Number 3006, Bonnie Riot. Number 4, Mouse. Number 51, Lady Hoo-Ha. Number 52, Sequin Destroy Her. Number 5388, Dark Horse. Number 65, Blanche Devereaux. Number 80, Thrill Show. Number 847, Hello Sailor. Number 9, Shenanigans.
And then for Minnesota, we have number 101, Switch Please. Number 1128, Poison Berry Pie. Number 1400, Shock Therapy. Number 172, Shiva Shankin. Number 26, Raichu. Number 32, Manila Ice. Number 422, Polly Punchkin. Number 5, Minnesota Blocker number 5. Number 501, Animal. Number 727, Herchard Stein. Number 82, Brutal Brit. Number 84, Revolt. Number 98, Bipolar Bear. Number 981, Duggar. And number 99, Anti-Fascism. It's like we're just finishing up a little bit of track maintenance. It's a good time to let you know who's officiating this game. For our non-skating officials, we have Mortricia, Jezebel O'Kitty, Haley Hydra, Apron, Galvatron, Hellcaster, Rob Anybody, Tawanda, and Pat Sweeney. And I'll come back to the skating officials next time we have a break.
All right, and the first jam has begun. We have skating on the jammer line for Wisconsin, Dark Horse, 5388. And skating for Minnesota RollerGirls, Switch Please.
Lead jammer goes to Switch Please, first lead of the game. Minnesota would like you to know that this is the very first time they've ever worn these white jerseys, and they will never look this nice ever again. So enjoy their pristineness tonight. And that's going to be 4 points for Switch Please in Minnesota, and they call that one off.
Alrighty, friends. I am Loose Change. We've got Madison and the Minnesota RollerGirls All-Stars. First bout, first jam, 4 points, Minnesota.
All right, jam 2 has begun. For the Minnesota All-Stars, Shock Therapy is lining up on the jammer line. For Madison, Mouse. And Shock Therapy has taken lead jammer status.
That's Revolt headed to the penalty box for Minnesota. There's been a star pass from Madison. Thrill Show, now your jammer. Shock Therapy going to call that off. Scores 5 on the jam. Jimmy, now we have Sequin Destroy Her up against Bipolar Bear. Lead goes to Sequin Destroyer.
That's Lady Hoo-Ha.
5 points for Lady Hoo-Ha.
Oh, yeah.
The gym, we have Jocelyn Hill for the Dairyland Dolls up against Raichu for Minnesota. That's Jocelyn Hill with lead jammer.
Both teams now at full strength. All right, we have Switch Please lining up against Blanche Devereaux. And Switch Please takes lead jammer status.
Gonna break that 2 in a row run for the Double Ds. This is going to be a power jam for the Double Ds. A back block called on Switch Please is headed to the Bear M Bottle penalty box. Hertrude Stein up in the front. Branch Devereaux able to swirl around. Completes their initial pass. Points.
All right, we have Dark Horse for the Dairyland Dolls skating up against Shock Therapy for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Trip to the penalty box for Pivot Revolt.
Dark Horse is your lead jammer.
2 more Minnesota blockers head to the penalty box. Number 5.
All right, 7 minutes in, we have got Minnesota 9, Dairyland Dolls 22. Fast pack speed going on right now. Heavy penalties as well, and a little bit of a switch flip-flop back and forth between both Dairyland Dolls and Minnesota All-Stars. The crowds just cheering their hearts out.
All right, we have a race between a mouse and a bear. We have mouse and bipolar bear for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Mouse able to beat Gertrude Stein to get lead.
And that hoo-ha chant can only mean one thing. Lady hoo-ha skating for the Dairyland Dolls. Raichu skating for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Hello, Sailor, head to the penalty box for Madison. And a cut called on Lady Hoo-Ha. This will be a power jam for Minnesota and Raichu. Raichu out and lead.
Raichu lead jammer after almost a full minute of that jam goes by.
5 points for Raichu.
Aquaman Army making themselves known and cheering Raichu on.
Misconduct called on Minnesota blocker number 5 is going to take a seat in the penalty box. It allows Lady Hoo-Ha to get free. Forces the call off of that jam, 3 more points.
Max Becker, coach for Minnesota All-Stars, going in to review a couple little things, asking some questions. With just under 20 minutes, Minnesota 17, Wisconsin 26.
Blanche Devereaux jamming for the Dairyland Dolls and making her jam debut, Anti-Fascism.
Points there for Dairyland Dolls. 11-point differential at this point in time with just, 11 minutes into this first half. For Minnesota, it's going to be, can they get their penalty troubles under control?
Switch, please. Jamming for Minnesota. Skating against Hammer Abbey for the Dairyland Dolls.
Hammer Abbey out first. Lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Revolt headed back to the penalty box for Minnesota. Switch, please, now completing her initial pass. Hammer Abbey able to pick up 2.
Team timeout being called by Minnesota All-Stars. Bringing that team together, giving them the opportunity to reassess what needs to change, what needs to
Ian's
happen.
Pizza is a proud sponsor of the Mad Rollin Dolls. Ian's Pizza has 2 downtown locations, 100 State Street next to Capitol and 319 North Francis near Cole Center. Both locations are open late. Order online at www.ianspizza.com. Downtown delivery is available.
So, as it stands right now, we've got 2 skaters for Minnesota, both with 3 penalties at this point in time. And we are not even halfway through the first half.
So you can back off the mic.
But then just,
Pull it back.
yeah. Adjust your arm, not your voice.
Okay. All right, lining up on the jammer line, we have Dark Horse for the Dairyland Dolls. But your lead jammer, from the Minnesota All-Star, Shock Therapy, number 1400.
That after timeout momentum in this jam for the Minnesota All-Stars is going to pick up 4 on the pass. Four now going to the Dairyland Dolls as well.
Six for Minnesota, 4 for the Dairyland Dolls. Penalty box is empty, so we've got full contingents of both skaters on the line.
All right, we've got another jam here with Mouse for the Dairyland Dolls and Bipolar Bear for skating for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Bipolar Bear pushing up against 2 all up front. Big recycle for the Dairyland Dolls there. Able to draw the cut. This is going to be a power jam from Mouse.
Both jammers assessed a penalty, little jammer switcheroo, Mouse release. Bipolar Bear will serve the same amount of time that Mouse did. With no lead jammer, this will run the full 2 minutes. Both packs working their best to keep those defensive walls up.
There's the initial pass by Mouse.
Mouse clears her initial pass.
We have a star pass to Rhea Bolt for the Minnesota All-Stars.
We're able to hang it on the outside, but gets tapped out just at the end. Bipolar Bear now sent to the penalty box on an illegal contact.
Picked up for the Dairyland Dolls there, 3 for Minnesota. 15 minutes into this first half. 18-point differential going right now. Raichu going up against Lady Hoo-Ha.
That's Lady Hoo-Ha jamming for the Dairyland Dolls up against Raichu for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Raichu takes lead jammer status.
lady who has stuck behind that wall of Polly Punchkin, Gertrude Stein. And Bipolar Bear.
That's 5 points for Raichu.
Raichu uses that inside line.
Lady who got caught
and
behind
set
a tripod brace from Minnesota.
Raichu able to pick up 7 points, leaving the Dairyland Dolls with an unanswerable 0. We have an 11-point bout now.
All right, and lining up on the jammer line for the Dairyland Dolls, Blanche Devereaux. Lining up for the Minnesota All-Stars, still being held back, anti-fascism. Blanche Devereaux takes...
It's going to be a power jam. Jocelyn Hell taking a seat in the penalty box.
Anti-fascism lead jammer and a power jam as Jocelyn Hell assessed a penalty. Hit to the outside by Shenanigans. And Jocelyn Hell released from the penalty box.
Jocelyn Hell out completing her initial pass. Going to force the call off. 4 points for Minnesota.
Points put up for Minnesota, tightening that gap. Hammer Abbey going up against Switch Please.
And we have Hammer Abbey skating for the Dairyland Dolls against Switch Please for the Minnesota RollerGirls. Switch Please takes lead jammer status.
It's Animal headed to the penalty box.
And that is 5 points for Switch Please.
Bonnie Riot also just took a seat in the penalty box. Going to bring each team down to 3 blockers. Thrill Show now the jammer for the Dairyland Dolls.
Switch Please able to put 10 on the board, and we have a lead change, friends. Minnesota 47, Dairyland Dolls 44.
All right, we have Shock Therapy lining up for the Minnesota All-Stars. She is jamming against Dark Horse.
Shock Therapy out first. Lead jammer for the Minnesota All-Stars. Shock Therapy calling that one off. 4 points on the jam.
And this is the point in time we were going to start seeing hit it or quit it roller derby. Pick up a couple points, call it off, do it again and again and again. Slowly increase that lead. Minnesota seems to have been able to get their penalties under control, which is good.
All right, we have Raichu skating for the Minnesota All-Stars. She is skating against Mouse for the Dairyland Dolls. We have got a traffic jam at turn 2.
Great coverage on the inside line by number 80, Thrill Show, but Raichu out first, lead jammer for Minnesota.
Four points for Minnesota.
Mouse clears her initial pass, but Shock Therapy calls it off as she picks up 4 points, taking Minnesota's lead to 11 now. As we have a team timeout being called by the Dairyland Dolls. As you can see in front of you, we've got some penalties going on, you know.
Take time during this timeout to let you know who the skating officials are. We've got Dr. Math, Werner Von Bombed, Duke Skellington, Manosaur, Chaotic Neutral, Sergeant Major, Bjorn to Kill, and Roll Call. Those are your skating officials for this game.
So,
May is Mental Health Month. Come see Upstage Stigma, a medley of song, dance, theater, and other performances that link the challenges of mental illness to our universal experience. As Harry Stack Sullivan said, we are all more human than otherwise. That is actually happening tonight at 7:30 at the Majestic Theater. All proceeds benefit Friends of PACT, the program of assertive community treatment.
or not, penalties exist. We'll talk about those later. Lady Hoo-Ha and switch, please.
And that chant can only mean one thing. Lady Hoo-Ha! She is skating against Switch, please! Switch, please, takes lead jammer status.
Switch, please, right through the middle, barely touched. 4 points for Minnesota. Lady Hoo-Ha completing her initial pass and also scoring eligible. Four points now on the board for the Dairyland Dolls in this jam. Switch, please, getting knocked to the inside, deciding to call that one off.
Four for that jam. Net 0 across the board. Still 11-point game with 7 minutes remaining.
All right, we have Shock Therapy jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars. But Blanche Devereaux, number 65, takes lead jammer status.
Beer and bottle penalty box is empty for once. Everybody's on the track and playing the game. Shock Therapy now out, completing their initial pass. Call off comes from Blanche Devereaux, going to be 4 points.
More hit it and quit it roller derby. So penalties, we've got one person on the Dairyland Dolls that's got 2, 2 that have 3, and a couple that have 2 and 1 for Minnesota. So both teams very, have that opportunity. They've reined in their penalties, which has definitely you've been able to tell from the point differential and score.
We have Anti-Fascism skating for the Minnesota RollerGirls. She is jamming against Jocelyn Hell, skating for the Dairyland Dolls.
Tipsy Velvet taking a seat in the penalty box.
Anti-fascism takes lead jammer status.
Everybody's done with their initial pass. Everybody's scoring eligible. Going to force the call off. 2 for Minnesota.
Two at a time here, 2 at a time there. That is all Minnesota needs in order to keep this lead. Fluctuating back and forth, currently 9 points. Separate these two teams.
All right, we have Switch Please and Dark Horse.
Switch please through the inside. Lead jammer for Minnesota. Cut. Making this a power jam for them.
Five points. Switch Please.
Should be able to find a hole on that inside line. Big recycle on Switch Please by the Dairyland Dolls. She's going to take another go at this tripod in the front.
That's 5 more points for Switch Please.
Got some whistles to meet some residents for the beer and bottle penalty box. Lip smacker. And boysenberry pie. 3 points. Bringing Switch Please to 13 on the jam.
Point jam there by Switch Please, holding Madison holding the Dairyland Dolls scoreless. Both teams have 1 blocker in the box. This will start 3-on-3 for the blockers.
All right, we have Mouse skating for the Dairyland Dolls against Shock Therapy skating for Minnesota. Shock Therapy takes lead jammer status. Mouse being sent to the penalty box. This will be a power jam for Minnesota.
5 points for Shock Therapy.
Shock Therapy, an extremely successful jammer so far.
Almost untouched. Another 5. $15 total so far on the jam for Shock Therapy. Getting caught up in the front. Mouse out of the box, completing her initial pass.
Shock Therapy picks up a total of 18, widening that gap that Minnesota All-Stars currently have established over the Dairyland Dolls. Just over a minute remaining on the period clock.
All right, we have Raichu lining up for the Minnesota RollerGirls. We have Lady Hoo-Ha for the Dairyland Dolls. Raichu takes lead jammer status.
Lady Hoo-Ha headed to the penalty box on a high block. This will be a power jam for Minnesota. First 5 awarded to Raichu.
Raichu calls off the jam, freezing the jammer in the penalty box.
Official review called by the Dairyland Dolls.
It's easier just to talk over you when I'm just going to say 3 words like that.
So with that, we've got an official review being called by the Dairyland Dolls. Dairyland Dolls currently have both jammer and 1 blocker in the penalty box. Slowly but surely, the Dairyland Dolls racking up a couple more penalties here and there. Same for Minnesota. A couple that have got 3. Nobody on Dairyland Dolls has more than 2 at this point in time. However, the last couple jams have been jammer penalties kind of happening back to back, which is definitely not what you want to see. So, with halftime just right around the corner, can the Dairyland Dolls figure out what they need to do to stop those jammer penalties and start putting those points back up on the board? I just said something and I was on mute, so I'm going to say that again. Switch Please was just dancing for the Aquaman army, who is seated not too far behind me. You can tell who they are because they have the Aquaman hymnals, and every skater has their own song.
And welcome back. That official review is Madison requesting a high block on blocker 306. The no call stands, and they did not retain their official review.
Back to the action on the track. We have Switch Please taking lead jammer status. Lady Hoo-Ha returning from the box into the action.
Forearm called on Lady Hoo-Ha. She'll be taking a seat. Switch Please will be jamming unopposed for 30 seconds or so.
Switch Please recycled to that turn 2. And with that, we are going into halftime. Minnesota currently sitting at 112 to Dairyland Dolls 52. penalties here. A few more being added to each team. No one in any real big penalty trouble. 7 is the magic number in which they will foul out of the game. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in total that have 3. No one with 4 or more. So depending upon if things continue the way that they have been, everyone should be okay, and penalty issues and fouling up shouldn't become a problem for anyone involved. We've got just under 14 minutes remaining, and we will be back for the second half of the Madison Dairyland Dolls versus the Minnesota All-Stars. Alrighty, friends, real quick, we want to talk just a little bit about these great recognized tournaments. You see Big O already happened.
Welcome back to the second half of Minnesota Roller Girls, Minnesota All-Stars versus Mad Rollin' Dolls, Dairyland Dolls.
Lady Hoo-Ha starting this jam in the penalty box, which gives Shock Therapy the power jam for Minnesota.
Shock Therapy is lead for Minnesota. Teeny tiny hole to bop through for 4 points. It's a cut called on Shock Therapy. This is going to be a power jam for Lady Hoo-Ha, and also it will be a 2-minute jam.
We're playing Jammer musical chairs here. Shock Therapy back out on the track.
Five points for Shock Therapy out of the box through the pack. Seat in the box for Manila Ice. And that's the jam.
All right, to those recognized tournaments, we've got, oh my goodness, we are about halfway through recognized tournament season. So much fun and excitement going on. We are at utter chaos. There's a number of them that are already coming up. And then we have the WFTDA Continental Cups. We've got those happening in August and October.
All right, and we're back to the action. Blanche Devereaux lining up for the Dairyland Dolls against Raichu, skating for the Minnesota All-Stars. Both jammers working their way through the pack. And it is Blanche Devereaux, lead jammer, but close on her heels, Raichu.
We got a foot race coming around turn 2. Into the pack, Blanche Devereaux, remember, is lead. Hits the blockers, calls it off, doesn't score anything. And neither does Raichu.
With one in the box for the Dairyland Dolls, they will be starting at a 3-4 pack disadvantage.
Switch, please. Lining up for the Minnesota All-Stars against Jocelyn Hell for the Dairyland Dolls. Switch, please, takes lead jammer status. Actually, she heads to the box.
So back block called on Switch, please. Going to be a trip to the penalty box. This is a power jam. Of course, Minnesota right now has a pack advantage over the Dairyland Dolls. So Dairyland Dolls have a jammer advantage. Minnesota has a pack advantage. Lead now awarded to Jocelyn Hell. Jocelyn Hell picks up a forearm penalty. Heading to the penalty box now. We're going to have a 2-minute jam.
which clears that initial pass.
Two Madison blockers taking a seat in the beer and bottle penalty box, giving Minnesota the power jam and the pack advantage.
Shenanigans and Bonnie Riot, the two remaining Dairyland Doll blockers.
They're right there. So nobody.
One or two towels that we don't have any except one of them.
No.
And that jam comes to its natural conclusion. Minnesota puts 14 on the board. Dairyland Dolls puts 4. 6 minutes into the second half. Minnesota taking more of a commanding lead.
All right, we have Anti-Fascism skating for the Minnesota All-Stars, jamming against Dark Horse for the Dairyland Dolls.
Dark Horse out first, lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Anti-Fascism still inside the pack. Dark Horse gonna call that off after 5.
Minnesota's got 1 blocker in the bear and bottle penalty box. Dairyland Dolls side is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. There are 2 blockers for Minnesota. So they will start with a 2-4 pack disadvantage.
Shock therapy for the Minnesota All-Stars, skating against Mouse from the Dairyland Dolls. Mouse takes lead jam.
2 in a row now for the Dairyland Dolls. 3 in a row if you count the one that they lost before that.
And we've got a switcheroo. 2 in the box now for the Dairyland Dolls. Minnesota All-Stars. Pack will be out in full. So they will have a 2-4 pack disadvantage for the Dairyland Dolls.
Just kidding.
That's an official timeout. Good time to take a moment to let you know that Pabst Blue Ribbon is a longtime supporter of Madison Roller Derby. So PBR yourself ASAP at a nearby concession. Craft beers from Ale Asylum and Capital Brewery are also available for purchase. So check out the concession stand for some beers.
Official time out there.
All right, we have Bipolar Bear skating for the Minnesota All-Stars. We have Blanche Devereaux skating for the Dairyland Dolls. And it is Bipolar Bear, your lead jammer.
Bipolar Bear knocked to the inside by One Hit Wanda, who hasn't been a one-hit Wanda this evening.
Bipolar puts 2 on the board, keeping Dairyland Dolls scoreless. Raichu and Jocelyn Hell.
We have Raichu skating for Minnesota. Jocelyn Hell for the Dairyland Dolls. Raichu, your lead jammer.
Cut called on Jocelyn Hell. This will be a power jam for Raichu and Minnesota.
Raichu picks up 3 points and calls it off. Jocelyn Hell still in the penalty box. So this will be a power jam start for Switch, please. And it's Pivot Line Roller Derby.
All right, we have a power start. Switch, please. Your lead jammer. All right, Blanche Devereaux is out of the penalty box. Both jammers are out on the track. 5 points. Switch, please.
Score right now is 149 for Minnesota, 61 for the Dairyland Dolls. 3 more points to Minnesota. That's going to be Shock Therapy jamming for Minnesota up against Dark Horse for the Dairyland Dolls. Dark Horse is your lead jammer.
Dark Horse picks up 3 and leaves Minnesota with 0 unanswerable points. Both teams with 1 in the penalty box, so there will be 3-3 packs.
All right, for the Minnesota Roller Girls, we have Anti-Fascism. Skating for the Dairyland Dolls is Mouse. Anti-Fascism takes lead jam.
Anti-Fascism goes into the crack hard, picks up 3, calls that one off.
I said earlier, I'm
Minnesota's Aquaman Army having a little bit of a competition with Dairyland Dolls fans.
All right, we have Riot Shoe skating for the Minnesota Roller Girls. We have Blanche Devereaux skating for the Dairyland Dolls. Both jammers still working their way through the pack. Riot Shoe takes lead jammer status.
Blanche Devereaux getting knocked back into the pack, able to find a spot on the inside, though, to get out. Has completed her initial pass. Riot Shoe inside the pack. Decides not to take the recycle, calls that one off after 2.
And we are seeing more of that Minnesota fast hit it and quit it roller derby. Couple points here, couple points there. That was 2 points for Riot Shoe. Calls it off. And we have an official timeout being called right now. So let's talk more about these amazing recognized WFTDA recognized tournaments. It is new, which is super great, and it is a program that was put together to recognize and support the high-quality WFTDA member-hosted
Big
tournaments
thank
that
you and
occur
shout out
worldwide.
to Lady Scratch, who's been doing our tunes all weekend and who most people have been enjoying and dancing to. So if you've been enjoying the music, make sure you dance more, because that's how you show appreciation to Lady Scratch. You dance a lot.
While allowing for various different tournament structures, the Recognized Tournament Program establishes a consistent standard for all tournament officiating and games management. There is a number of them going on this year. We are about halfway through with Utter Chaos, but they are everywhere from Pennsylvania to Oregon, California, and Quebec. And we'll talk more about those Continental Cups in a second.
All right, and we have Jocelyn Hell skating for the Dairyland Dolls. We have Switch Please skating for the Minnesota Roller Girls.
The jammer goes to Switch Please from Minnesota. Switch Please hanging on in the apex, picks up 5. Tap out of bounds will cause the cut. Good draw by the Dairyland Dolls. We're going to see a 2-minute jam now.
Jocelyn Hell coming up against
Big long recycle for Jocelyn Hell. Going to send her all the way back into the straightaway between turns 2 and 3. And she's able to find a path through the apex for 5 points. Bringing Madison to 69. Switch Please out of the box through the pack. 5 as well. Jocelyn Hell up 4 on the jam. Switch Please currently scoring points. Jocelyn Hell now also scoring points.
For the Dairyland Dolls, we have Dark Horse. And skating for the Minnesota Roller Girls, Zzz, Shock Therapy takes lead jammer status.
Dark Horse with a very nice apex jump there. Picks up 2 points for those Dairyland Dolls. Let's take a quick peek at those penalties. We are more than halfway through with this second half. Got, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a follow-up? That is. Hello, Sailor.
I mouse say I can barely contain myself on this jam, you guys. We have Bipolar Bear and Mouse. I deeply regret saying that.
Mouse getting through the middle, lead jammer for Dairyland Dolls.
Star pass to Gertrude Stein.
Time out being called by those Dairyland Dolls. Let's take a quick look at those penalties again. So we've got, that is Hello Sailor, who has fouled out for the Dairyland Dolls. That number 52 is Sequin Destroyer.
Don't forget to check out the
for-
food carts. They'll be here till 9:30 tonight. There's some ice cream. There's some other tasty food. So head outside, get yourself some dinner after this game. And while you're up and around, also make sure to check out the silent auction. They'll be there through the first game on Sunday. So go see what auction items there are for you to bid on.
5 for Sequin Destroyer from the Dairyland Dolls, and 5 penalties for Minnesota blocker number 5 on Minnesota All-Stars. Other than that, everyone else sitting pretty at 2, 3, 1. We've even got a couple that have 0 penalties out there, so with just about 11 and a half minutes remaining, other than those few, penalties seem to be not out of control. We've got another part of the official timeout happening here, so. So let's talk about those WFTDA Continental Cups. These are new this year. I'm super excited about them. There is the North American East in Kalamazoo, Michigan, the North American West in Omaha, Nebraska, and the European in Birmingham, UK. They are 3-day events, 12 competing teams. The European will be a 2-day event with 8 competing teams. It's going to be the annual determination for the WFTDA playoffs, hosted and run by member leagues. The Continental Cups are set up with the format that best fits the ranking needs for each region and will produce the best in region through a competitive bracket. It is my goal to be both at the Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Omaha, Nebraska one. If you're not going to be listening to my voice, then I'm going to be in the stands cheering, because those are both within traveling distance for yours truly. And there is nothing like some great roller derby to finish off the summer months. And with that whistle, we are going to be getting back to the action. 171 Minnesota, 78 Madison.
All right, we have Lady Hoo-Ha skating for the Dairyland Dolls against Riot Shoe skating for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Lady Hoo-Ha out first, lead for the Dairyland Dolls. She's going to pick up 3 and call that off.
Just under 11 minutes remaining in this Minnesota versus Madison bout here at the 2018 Udder Chaos. Just a reminder, there is still one bout that will be happening after this. That will be Ann Arbor Derby Dimes versus Team United Roller Derby. So you're going to want to stick around for that. That is going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, the last bout of the day. But don't worry, it's not the last bout of the
A big thank you
weekend.
tonight to all of our medical volunteers keeping us safe and healthy all weekend long. And if you're looking to party later tonight, you can head over to the Tipsy Cow at 9:30 at 102 King Street. It's only 3.2 miles away from the venue. Just a 10-minute drive or cab right away. And if you're going to drink, then take that cab.
All right, with that whistle, we are going to be getting back to it. Both teams have one blocker in the box.
All right, we have Blanche Devereaux skating for the Dairyland Dolls, but Switch Please takes lead jammer status. Switch Please from Minnesota All-Stars.
Switch picks up 4 points, calls it off, holding Dairyland Dolls. Oh, nope, sorry, 3. I thought I saw only 3 points. Oh, nope, there's 4. 4 points? All right, nothing else is being moved now. So I'm going to say it's 4 points for Minnesota, holding Madison scoreless.
All right, we have Dark Horse jamming for the Dairyland Dolls and jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars. Shock therapy.
That's Dark Horse lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls.
Shock therapy clears her initial pass, coming up on points.
Shock therapy completing her initial pass. Gonna call that off after 3 points, making the score 175 for Minnesota, 84 for the Dairyland Dolls, with just under 9 minutes left. As far as penalty trouble, we have 2 for the Dairyland Dolls. That is number 52, Sequin Destroyer at 6. Number 847, Hello Sailor at 6. And for Minnesota, there's just 1 in penalty trouble. And that is Minnesota blocker number 5 at 5. Must be a number that she likes a lot.
All right, we've got Mouse jamming for the Dairyland Dolls, but anti-fusion, anti-fascism takes lead jammer status for Minnesota.
And that's the end of that jam. No change in points. Do you know that the WFTDA has 419 member leagues and 46 apprentice leagues spanning 6 continents? Since 2015, the WFTDA has grown from 20 leagues to more than 400 internationally. Find teams, ranking, news, updates, and more online at WFTDA.com and get your social media fix by finding WFTDA on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right, we have Lady Hoo-Ha lining up for the Dairyland Dolls against Raichu for the Minnesota All-Stars. Both jammers working their way through the pack.
That's going to be the 7th penalty for Sequin Destroyer, who just sat down in the box.
Lady Hoo-Ha heads to the penalty box, the Bear and Bottle penalty box, leaving this a power jam for Minnesota.
Raichu's going to call that one off. Freezing. Jammer in the box.
All right, and there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Both Sequins Destroyer and Hello Sailor. And then we've got Lady Hoo-Ha coming in on 5. And Minnesota blocker number 5 still hanging out at that 5 steady. Seeing as the name includes number 5, the number is number 5, I'm going to go ahead and make just the general assumption that she just wanted to have 5 penalties because that's her favorite number. So, probably going to just stay there for the rest of the bout. The one concerning thing for the Dairyland Dolls is definitely Lady Hoo-Ha coming in with those 5 penalties. Lady Hoo-Ha's been an extremely effective jammer so far. Between both Lady Hoo-Ha and Dark Horse, I believe they're going to probably the ones that have scored the most points in total. Don't quote me on that. I don't have stats in front of me. Feel free to tell me that I'm wrong, because that happens all the time. Don't worry. I'm not going to take it personally. If you want to at me and tell me that I'm wrong, feel free to do so. You can do that online. You can do that at Udder Chaos, hashtag Udder Chaos 2018. You can at me on Twitter at Find Loose Change. Feel free to tell me the stats that I don't know, because I don't have them in front of me. This is a, by the way, official review being called by the Dairyland Dolls. We here in the production booth are using it as an opportunity for a dance break. So, unfortunately, those of you at home can't hear this delightful music that's going on. So just pretend like it's your favorite music and go ahead and dance right along with us.
They upheld the call on the blue jammer and added a call on the white jammer in the review. That was separate from their review. That just happened. That just happened because we had a chance to get together and talk about it, basically.
As you can tell, the Dairyland Dolls are enjoying the music.
All right.
Can I have the sound back? Can I have the sound back?
At official review, the blue was challenging the call on the jammer. The call with the forearm was upheld, so they lost their official review. But in the discussion, a cut was added for the white jammer, so both jammers started from the penalty box.
That's right, and Lady Hoo-Ha is your lead jammer. Riot 2 is the jammer for Minnesota.
Lady Hoo-Ha scoring 5 points on that pass. It's going to be a star pass. That is Gertrude Stein with a star on her helmet for Minnesota.
Seven points there picked up by those Dairyland Dolls. Five and a half minutes remaining.
All right, for Minnesota, we have on the jammer line, switch, please. And for the Dairyland Dolls, Blanche Devereaux, no. Blanche hops on her toe stops on the inside line, takes lead jammer status.
Bear and bottle penalty box is empty, so we are starting with full contingent of all blockers.
And we've got Dark Horse skating for the Dairyland Dolls against Shock Therapy, who just took lead jammer status.
Oh wait, can you not stand up on the table though?
Forearm penalty called on Dark Horse, taking a seat in the beer and bottle penalty box for Madison. This is a power jam for Shock Therapy.
Five points for Shock Therapy.
Another 4 for calling that one off. 9 total on the jam for Minnesota.
And we've got Anti-Fascism skating against Jocelyn Hell. Anti-Fascism, number 99 in the white for Minnesota. Jocelyn Hell, number 1967 for the Dairyland Dolls. Jocelyn Hell takes lead jammer status.
5 points for the Dairyland Dolls and Jocelyn Hell. Anti-Fascism now completing her initial pass.
One minute. 30. Oh, Dairyland Dolls calling for a team timeout. I thought we were having some clock troubles, but nope. I just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. Dairyland Dolls calling for their last team timeout. 1 minute 38 seconds remaining on the period clock. Not quite 100 points differentiate these two teams. Let's take a quick peek at those penalties. See where everyone's sitting. Doesn't look like there's been any real big changes and or additions. Got just 3-3-3s sort of down the board for those people that have penalties for Minnesota. And most everybody else doesn't have any penalties for Dairyland Dolls, so good for them.
That's Switch Please, jamming up against Mouse. Mouse finds a wide open hole on the outside as lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Four points for Mouse.
Mouse with one skate on that outside line. And doesn't
5 points the hard way for Mouse.
Switch Please picking up a cut. This will be a power jam for the Dairyland Dolls.
Mouse coming around with just a big giant smile on her face.
Gonna be 5 points for Mouse, but she's gonna pick up a cut as well. This is gonna be a 2-minute jam.
Switch Please back in action. Now it is the power jam for Minnesota.
Switch Please able to stay in bounds. Picks up 5 points on that pass. Mouse now out of the poly box through the pack. That's another 4. 17 on the jam for Mouse, 5 on the jam for Switch Please.
And with that, Mouse picks up 17 big points for the final jam for Madison. Madison ends this 114 to Minnesota's 193. Unofficial final at this point in time. Congratulations to the Minnesota
Final score 193 Minnesota, 114 Dairyland Dolls.
like I said, friends, don't go too far, because in 21 minutes we've got the final bout of the evening. More roller derby action still coming your way. Plus, then there's always Sunday too. My goodness, so much delightfulness happening. I have been Loose Change. I am still Loose Change. I'm always going to be Loose Change. Thank you for joining us. The announcers on the house broadcast that you heard, that was Assassinate and October Revolution. On behalf of the Utter Chaos announcing crew, thank you for joining us for this delightful MNRG versus Madison bout, and we will see you later.